can lean into your own personal discomfort, say what needs to be said in a non-offensive way, the more you make the world a better place.
All right, social media, welcome to our Live at 5 on Tuesdays. I'm Andy Prisco with Jumpstart Mastery, and we are streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Welcome all. Brenda raising a very timely topic for us to discuss today, holiday travel stress, and quite frankly, holiday stress in general. I think everyone can identify with that to some degree, and certainly on our Tuesday lives, we're interested in managing everyday topics, and in particular, through the crisis de-escalation lens, what tools and tips we can apply to these everyday situations to perhaps make life a little more peaceful. Welcome all. I remember, certainly as a young man, feeling an extraordinary amount of expectation placed upon me from others, family and friends, expectation I placed upon myself to perform during the holiday season, to perform in gift giving, to perform in visits, to perform in attendance and participation, to perform at events. And I use that word in a general sense, to produce my presence, to produce my effort, to produce my whatever. And that can really put a damper on enjoyment of, I'd say, any holiday when we're actively engaging in activities that we really don't want to do. I think a lot of people can identify with that. One of the gifts that was given to us by the great Marshall Rosenberg, the founder of nonviolent communication, was the method of describing what one feels and what one needs, particularly regarding self. And as I age, I say that a lot lately, but it's true. As I age, what I'm beginning to observe and accept more and more is that unless I am willing to assert for myself, no one is going to do it for me. And if I do not want to be involved in situations, moments, places, or with people that I don't want to be involved with, I certainly only want to do that after I have made a decision to willfully do so, as opposed to feeling like I had no choice and did not have an opportunity to speak my mind. It is a cleaner way of living to be able to articulate what you feel and what you need. What it does do, in my experience, is create a different set of interactional circumstances with people in my life. It's not unusual anymore, but when I first started asserting for myself, I would say that the people that had become accustomed to me being someone who would unquestionably show up, unquestionably produce, unquestionably be there, were surprised if I spoke up in a manner that suggested that I wasn't going to be able to do that this year. And in the service of attending to my own wellness, to some degree, I would want to explain honestly and not lie about it. There are people who will get out of holiday obligation by not being truthful. I'm sick. I'm out of resources. What if I don't want to get a gift for this person this year? What if I have to pare down because my resources are low? Or what if I'm not real fond of this person right now? And, some expectation, whether it's from myself or someone else, from someone else, that I should give them a gift. I'm finding honesty with self to be the best policy in living day to day and speaking my feelings and needs about that when indicated. Um, so we're offering this as a way to manage the stress that can come along the holidays. Um, this year, in my family system, we have a number of events scheduled. And um, all of those this year for me were things that I absolutely decided that I wanted to do no matter what. And uh, it felt good being in a place where I could do that from a position of choice rather than ill feeling or feeling like I have to produce something just to satisfy someone else's need. So then the next question becomes, well, how do you start doing that? How do you start being honest about what you feel and what you need so that you can be true to yourself and not carry around ill feeling or shame or regret about holiday stress, particularly when it comes to expectation? Well, Marshall Rosenberg gave us a way out of that trap as well. And he calls it OFNR, observation, feeling, need, request. So let's say I were invited to a holiday party and I did not want to go because there were going to be a number of people there that I don't know. And in some cases, there may even be some people there that I don't particularly like very much or get along with, or there's going to be some activity that I don't want to be around. Like, let's say a lot of, um, uh, I personally, I can be around drunkenness. I have a problem being around stupid risk taking drunkenness, and I won't want to be around that. So I may say to someone who invited me to this event, who they themselves I adore, I may say something like this. Um, I appreciate very much and honor the fact that you have invited me to this event. I feel anxious at the proposition of going because I know what can happen at these things is that people start doing some pretty outlandish stuff at around, the second or third hour of being together because of drink. Uh, I need to have a sense of safety around that for my own well being because of my journey as a recovering alcoholic. And I find it uncomfortable to be around that. Would you be willing to forgive me the invitation this year so that I have to be exposed to that? And I'd really appreciate it if you could understand. Wow. Think about that for a minute. I mean, that's pretty honest. It has nothing to do with negative appraisal of behavior. It has nothing to do with negatively appraising the people who are in attendance. It has everything to do with what I'm observing, what I'm feeling, identifying what I need, and asking for relief. There's nothing really comfortable about that, but I can tell you that a method of attending to certain interactions can be very helpful in getting one's needs met. It would be very easy to say, Jimmy, I can't go to that because Scott and Rob, they get drunk and they start jumping off the fucking top of the house into the pool. I get extraordinarily anxious that someone's going to get injured. I can't be around that crazy shit, man. Now, you might say, yeah, why not just say it like that? Well, what if this person doesn't resonate with that description of these two people and now takes issue with the fact of that I just described them in that way? What I'm proposing is that in the management of self's well-being and interest, it was the prescription from Marshall Rosenberg to speak about your own feelings and needs in regard to a request. And I can tell you that at first, It is uncomfortable, especially if you don't have a long history speaking your feelings and needs. But there is, on the other side of that, great power. There's great power in being able to articulate feelings and needs and being honest with yourself so that you don't have to live with discomfort or shame or regret. When it comes to holiday travel, I think it's entirely reasonable. Everybody knows that expense for holiday travel is considerably more than other parts of the year. And I don't know about you, but a lot of people had a hard time economically this year. I actually worked out with one of my daughters who's in Texas. As much as I'd love to fly down there at Christmas time, there were a lot of circumstances making that challenging. And when I said to her very honestly, what I would love to do instead is come at the end of January, and these are the reasons why. Would you be willing to accommodate that? She was actually wonderful in reply and said, here's why I think that's a good idea too, Dad, and began to articulate her reason. So sometimes on the other side of being honest, you may be surprised that not only do you not see discomfort, you see gratitude. So being honest with self in terms of feelings and needs is the recommendation and the takeaway from today's live. I hope that you have an honest and good to yourself holiday this year. I hope that you're willing to be honest with yourself and to assert your honesty about how you feel and what you need with the people around you to mitigate the stress around spending money, the stress around flying, the stress around being somewhere that you may not want to be, or being with people that you don't want to be with. So with that, I hope that you derived a little bit of meaning and value out of reducing holiday stress. All the very, very best to you. On Thursday at 4 p.m., join us at the jumpstartmastery.com network, where we have a live that's dedicated to professionals working in the space of crisis de-escalation. All the very, very best to you. Take good care.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The more that you can lean into your own personal discomfort, say what needs to be said in a non-offensive way, the more you make the world a better place.